Everybody's different. Oh.
Hello friends, my name is Kate Shark and welcome back to my channel. So again, happy Pride Month. We are on the second video of Pride Month this week. Hold on. So anyway, we are on the second video, and another LGBTQ plus business I'd like to address is a werewolf apparel. A werewolf is a company that makes things like t-shirts, shorts, all kinds of stuff. It is a trans-owned and operated company. Really interesting. It was started so the owner and operator could raise funds for his top surgery. And I think it's just really taken off. It's absolutely, they've got such cool designs. Some are very blatant and out there, and some are very subtle in case you're not quite comfortable wearing something with pride or any kind of stuff like that, or if maybe you live in a more conservative area and don't want to have to deal with it, or people looking at you too much. I don't blame you. But they have really cool designs. I own a shirt of theirs myself. The werewolf one, the werewolf one, my wife owns a few of theirs. I think she owns the Clipper Ship one. But they have all kinds of cool stuff. And like all their stuff is, like I said, trans-owned and operated. They do all their work in-house, like screen printing and even embroidery in-house. And they have all kinds of neat designs. They have that old style tattoo, like American traditional tattoo stuff. They also have a lot of neon looking kind of thing, which I absolutely love. But definitely check them out. They're very neat. They have some great designs, and I think you really like them. I will put a link to their website in the description box below. But other than that, let's go ahead and continue on with our story here. I'm not sure what Mr. Wong had done, whether it was his sheer craftsmanship or if it was by some occult power. All I knew was that he had done transformative work on my shoes. My heels are even more comfortable to wear compared to before. I wondered if he had adjusted the heel length on them. I felt taller and more confident with every step I took. My calf looked more slender and shapely wearing them. Perhaps next time I'll try wearing them without pantyhose. Oh God, I hate pantyhose. I hate the way they feel. What a time-honored skill Mr. Wong must possess. I'm sure many people will rely on his services for years and years to come. I wish I could write a review for him. He certainly deserves the praise. Today was just flying by. My commute to work was smooth. I wasn't even able to get a seat on the subway on the way to work. Ooh. I suppose for every bad day, a good day will make up for it. There was a lull in the day. I went for a excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm having like weird allergy stuff. There was a lull in the day. I went for a sit-in lunch. My usual restaurant had hardly a queue to get inside. Miss, your usual order? Today I'll have the curry beef brisket, please. Okay. It was a wonderfully seamless day. I was thinking I could leave work early. Hey. Yes? You're leaving already? What's it to you, Clark Kent? God. Yes, that's right. You forgot about me already. Yes, I did. You're the new hire in the accounting department? Johnny? It's Joey. Shit. I'm horrible with names too. Right, Joey, I apologize. That's okay, we never formally introduced ourselves to each other. Oh God, is this gonna be some weird love triangle bullshit? Sorry. I've only been here for a few weeks. Your name is Michelle, right? Or should I call you Slippers Chung? Please don't call me that. I was hoping people would forget about that already. Listen, Joey. Is that the one she was talking about yesterday? But it's so funny. Hey, has anyone said that you look a bit like Momoko Kikuchi? Hold on, I'm gonna look this person up. Oh, she kind of does, actually. Peach Child? The Japanese pop idol. Yeah, don't you think so? She kind of does. Although if she's Chinese and Momoko is Japanese, I don't know how kosher that is to make that comparison. No way. There's no way I could look like a pop singer. Don't be so modest. I'll show you her photo book. You really look like her. You don't have to go so far as to do that. What is it? I don't see you wearing those slippers today. Yeah, it was you got your shoes fixed. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, please don't tease me about it anymore. Even the supervisor was heckling me about it this morning. It's a great story, though. It's really not. I think you're all just lead very boring lives. Don't you think it adds more to your character? No. Character? When I first saw you, I thought you were like a boss character. Boss character? Mrs. Tam is our boss. Not that kind of boss. I meant to say that you seemed hard to approach at first. So for you to come to work in slippers like that, it's like, oh, a weakness. I mean it as a compliment. Okay. I don't quite understand, but I appreciate your compliment. You're wearing a brown vest with a black tie. Yeah. You're heading home now? Yes, I was just about to go. Oh, me too. You take the Sunwon line, right? I'll go with you. I didn't ask. Okay, then. Ugh. Men. There's this noodle house that just opened. I heard from some of my friends that it's pretty good. Do you want to try it with me? It's really... The next station is Mongkok. Doors will open to your right. Oh, God. The train has been slowing down to a stop at the next station. Had been. And as I was about to answer, I was pushed by the other commuters looking to get off at the stop. You okay, Michelle? You gotta be like water and evade other people on the train. What are you, Bruce Lee? Be water, my friend. Yes, I got distracted. So what about the noodle place? I'm sorry, I have to get off here. I thought you had a few more stops. I forgot I had something I needed to pick up. Next time, okay? Okay. It's not a big deal. There's always next time. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, see you tomorrow. Why do you know what stop I get off at? I'm not sure why I made up such an excuse to get away from him. Because he's pushy and weird. From what I've heard, Joey's a good, respectable guy. A nice guy? I'm not hating on men, but Jesus. I heard from other coworkers that... excuse me. I heard from other coworkers that he had studied abroad and had only recently returned to Hong Kong upon completing his graduate studies. I'm sure there's a lot I could talk to him about, and yet, here I am. I was back in the same district where I had my shoes fixed the other day. Should take my time to look around. Be awkward if I got back on the train and I run into Joey by accident at the next stop. So I was already here. I could take a look at the shops for a bit. I didn't have a chance to really browse the shops because of that girl Sam the other day. You loved it. Now that I think of it, didn't she mention she had a shop around here? Shouldn't be too far of a walk from here. A video store. I had no expectations to actually come across a video store of that girl I had met yesterday. Besides the street-level storefronts, there were a multitude of stores located within indoor shopping arcades, and as well as many outdoor market stores that were scattered across the whole neighborhood district. Sam had only vaguely mentioned the location of the store. To find such a specific store without a specific address, I might as well have searched for a needle in a haystack. Did she even want me to find her store? She should have given me a business card if she did. Diamond Videos. What kind of store was that? Diamond would be more suitable for something a little more valuable than video cassettes. I giggled to myself. At this rate, perhaps it might just be a diamond in the rough if I could find it. I didn't put too much hope in it, though. I walked through a whole shopping arcade, and I've yet to come across her store. Nonetheless, I kept walking. I was testing out my shoes. My feet carried me forward without effort. My shoes felt comfortable and light. It was satisfying to hear the sound of the heel hitting the pavement. I love that sound. I passed by a few electronic stores. I saw from the window that they had an assortment of televisions and stereo devices for sale. I did not see any stores having home videos. Perhaps my father would have known better than me where to find a store like this. If he was alive, I'm sure he would still be coming to this neighborhood to regularly look at the stereo devices on display. He'd always liked to tinker with his sound system. In the past, I would have asked him to bring me along with him on his free weekends, and I would take a look at the new records in the shops nearby. My mother would also come along to look for her Chinese opera records. That was many years ago. Things changed fast around here. I could hardly recognize any of the stores now. I had walked a few blocks and reached the end of the street. I looked to the left and right. It seems like there weren't a lot of stores ahead. I'm having so much trouble today. Ugh. I looked up, and there was a strobing neon sign above me. It might just be video. Adult video. I craned my head to do a double take. I saw there was a massage parlor in the unit above. A CD movie theater was in the building beside it. Uh-oh. My left eye twitched. I've been looking at a computer monitor all day. What I should do is kick back at home with a cool compress over my eyes. I forgot to do that the other night. The heat of the buildings and all the people in the streets made the night air here humid and dense. I felt a bit uncomfortable, like there was something heavy wrapping itself around me. If I continued down the street corner, I'd enter the grittier part of Portland Street. Should I try another street? I peered ahead and I saw a street sign asking office ladies to be wary of pickpockets. Office lady, that's what OL meant. Wow. Huh? Perhaps not. I glanced at my wristwatch. It was getting late. It's about time I called it quits and headed home. I clicked my heels together 3 times and chuckled to myself. There's no place like home. As I was turning around, I felt the shadow of someone walk past me. The person walked quickly behind me. Wasn't anything, but it felt suspicious. I tried to catch a glimpse of that person before they got away. In the corner of my eye, I saw it was a woman in a long robe dress. It was much like a Cantonese opera stage costume. She had long wavy hair. I vaguely recalled seeing. Sam? Was the first thought that came into my mind. I wasn't exactly sure who it was, but the profile was close enough to Sam's to make me question my eyesight. Whoever it was, they gave off a strange energy, enough to throw me off kilter. Even though I was just complaining about the warm, humid weather in my mind earlier, the air around me soon felt cold. I composed myself. I was heading home anyway. It was just not my luck to find the video store today. I continued my walk back in the direction from which I came. Excuse me. But as I continued walking, I noticed shops that I did not recall seeing earlier. There was a store that carved wood caskets, and a few others selling paper effigies, altars, incense, and lanterns. It struck me as strange, as I thought I had been walking in the opposite direction of Temple Street, where such stores were common in that area. Had I really walked down the wrong street? I looked left, right, forward, and back. I realized I had wandered somewhere quite far from where I started out. I didn't recognize the road signs, nor any of the landmarks. The quietness of the street was quite unsettling. I coughed from the thick plumes of incense smoke in the air. It was eerie how one wrong turn can make a world of difference. I love the soundtrack. I walked for a long time without seeing another pedestrian. I tried not to think about it. I hastened my pace. I wanted to get back to the station or hail a taxi, but there was no passing taxi. And despite how far I kept walking, I couldn't seem to find my way back to the station. Uh-oh. I was getting more and more lost in the labyrinth of small and narrow streets. I crossed the next street, and I felt something wet drip on my head. It was a water droplet. I should hope so. I wasn't underneath a rain cloud, nor was I underneath a hanging laundry or an air conditioner. I felt uncomfortable. The hair on my neck rose. I could feel the intense stare of someone behind me. Quickly turned around. I saw an old woman looking at me. She was seated on a small stool in the street corner. Her eyes were sunken deep with age. She wore a black traditional dress robe, and she combed her hair in a tight bun. Her dress hid most of her body, but I could see that she was quite a small person. Her back was bent forward, with scoliosis, making her appear even smaller. Lotus flowers were placed on a mat beside her. She appeared to be selling them. She didn't appear to be somewhat dangerous. Rather, she seemed to me like a gentle and lonely old woman who lived a lifetime of honest but hard labor. A coin for a flower seemed like a small pittance, but it would mean a meal for her. I reached for my coin purse. Young lady, haven't you realized that there's another path? Sometimes the road won't appear until you take the first step towards it. Huh? I looked up, and somehow the old lady merchant had disappeared right before my eyes. The street corner where I thought she sat had no one. Behind it was just an empty alleyway. I stood dumbfounded. There was not a trace of her. No stool, no mat, not even a lotus petal was left behind. I was starting to feel quite frightened. Where'd she go? Had I been seeing and hearing things this whole time? I asked myself. I suppose this is what I got for walking alone in an unfamiliar place. I approached the alley. I had to get a closer look. Perhaps it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. My heart started racing as I cautiously approached the alley. Don't do that! And I peered in, thinking, praying it wasn't all a malicious ploy by someone out to get me. But rest assured, there was not a soul. I suppose the old lady packed up her things and left. I looked through the alleyway again. I saw in the distance a familiar blinking sign. I realized I could cut through the alley to where I was earlier. I took my chances. I didn't think too much. A dark alley has its dangers, but at this moment I was more afraid of being stuck in some unfamiliar place. I hated the feeling of being lost. I hightailed it through the alley. As soon as I stepped out of it, I felt the air pressure immediately change. The street was bustling with human activity. It was warm and humid. I didn't mind it as much this time. It was comforting to hear the sounds and chatter of people going about their business. I was back to where I started, before everything strange started happening. Ironically enough, it was the blinking adult video sign that signaled me back to this place. I was about to head out, this time in the correct direction, when I heard the muffled sounds of someone calling my name. Michelle! Where was it coming from? Michelle! I heard my name being called out again. I looked across the street and saw her standing outside a store. It's the adult store. It was Sam. She had the door open and gestured. Wow, why did that sound weird coming out of my mouth? For me to come inside. It was tiny, a dimly lit shop sandwiched between what looked like questionable establishments. I hadn't noticed her store even though I had walked past it earlier. My eyes weren't fooling me this time, right? I crossed the street. It was indeed Sam. Her smile, her gestures, it was without a doubt Sam. I was a little unnerved by what had happened earlier, but I felt much more at ease to see a friendly face. Sam's excitement to see me was earnest. It would put behind me the strange sequence of events. It'll be a later date when I have to recall the words of the old lady. Foreshadowing. Excuse me. Sam welcomed me into her store. It was a video store exactly as she described. I love that sign right there. Her store wasn't too big. Her counter was small. She had a seat. She had for a seat a folding chair and a stool that also appeared to double as a dining table in times of need. The store was stacked floor to ceiling with shelves and boxes of videotapes and laserdiscs. Laserdiscs! If you don't know what laserdiscs are, back in the day before DVDs were a thing, even for a while when DVDs were a thing, laserdiscs were these gigantic discs. So like back when old vinyl records, it was like a CD or disc the size of like a record, and they were crazy. Oh man, I remember those things. A small TV was plugged in near where she sat. I had a video of a black and white film playing. Oh, I like that outfit. I think I have a jacket a lot like that, honestly. Hey, Michelle. I saw you walking outside earlier. You alright? You look a little dazed. I'm fine. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Was there something you were looking for today? Or were you looking for me? I wanted to take a look at your shop. I said I would come by and look. Really? I'm happy to hear that. Please take a look around. If you find something you like, I'll give you a special discount. Oh. Okay. I looked around. She had the typical assortment of contemporary American and Asian films, television dramas, karaoke discs, and direct-to-home videos. Sam also had a section of classic Hollywood films such as The Sound of Music and Casablanca. I remember I watched some of these films with my mother when I was younger. I wondered if my mother would want to watch these films with me again. The thought had never occurred to me that I could revisit these films with home video. How pretty. I felt Sam's eyes on me. She acted as if she was flipping through her ledger, but she was definitely looking at me. She had a slight grin on the corner of her lips. I didn't like being stared at. I mean, fair. I picked up a tape off the shelf and read the back cover. I didn't have any particular movie I wanted to watch, but I didn't want Sam to think I came over to her store just to loiter. I wasn't much of a moviegoer. The last time I watched a movie in theaters must have been 2 years ago. Me. I only go like once in a blue moon. Like if a new Bond movie comes out, I'll go see it, or if something I just have to see, but it's been pretty rare that I've done that lately. I prefer to instead read a book from the comfort of my home. I like being able to follow along something at my own pace. It's not that I disliked movies. I want to be able to feel something, anything, out of my own thoughts and volition. I don't like being forced to feel a certain way because of some graphic image on screen. I wondered what about film that made Sam get into this kind of business. I put the tape back down. Sam was still looking my way. She seemed like she was waiting for me to ask her something. I pretended not to notice. I continued browsing. I saw that Sam kept a special selection of films in the corner of her store. Guessing by the languages on the covers, some looked like they were directly imported from their source country. A few English language films had a sticker on them indicating that you needed special hardware to play the tape. That's old school. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore. I examined this section closely. Her eyes continued to follow mine. I didn't recognize any of the movies in this section. Even for the Chinese language films in this section, they were all by directors I'd never heard of before. The films looked quite old and predated even the films I watched with my mother. I struggled to pronounce the titles of some of them. Oh God. I'm not going to try that. Something in uniform. What language was this one? Sam got up from her stool. Do you have any questions about these films? What are these tapes? They look like bootlegs. Oh God, bootlegs. They're not bootlegs. They're copies of rare and experimental films. Uh-oh. Can you really set up a shop like this with these kinds of tapes? Seems hard to sell. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. One day someone's going to wish there were more copies of these films floating around. Do you really make money selling these films? I do. Special interest. The lease ain't free. You gotta find a way to reach out to every kind of client. Well, I have my loyal customers. Certain movies really do help pad out the sales. What's that? It's nothing. Would you like to look at anything else? Do you have any Chinese classics? I'll get something for my mother. Of course. How can I stay in business if I don't? Any particular one you think she'll like? I'm not sure. My mother really liked the movie The Dream of the Red Chamber. Which version did she like? I think the one with Brigitte Lin? Is she a fan of Brigitte Lin? I have a lot of her movies, other movies. No, not really. I don't think she particularly likes her movies. She's the biggest superstar of Taiwan and Hong Kong. My mother isn't up to date with celebrity trends. She was and will always be a fan of Yam Kim Fai. She She loves Cantonese opera. Perhaps she might like a recording of one of her films. Oh. Yam is quite a popular figure, isn't she? My mother was a fan too. Has she watched The Purple Hairpin? That sounds familiar, actually. Definitely. I'm sure she'll watch it again, though. I'll get a copy. Okay. This version of it is good. The sound is in stereo quality. Stereo! Thanks. How about yourself? Is there anything that you're looking for? Just name it and I can find it for you. I'm not sure. I don't have a particular one I'm looking for right now. What kind of movies do you like? Oh God. Well, she did say she prefers reading a book. I feel bad because the last episode, she was a dog or a cat person, but when it showed Michelle's bedroom, she had a cat stuffy in her bed, and I said dog. I wonder if that matters. I prefer reading a book. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I prefer reading a book instead. Is that so? Can you tell me why? Well, sometimes I feel more moved if I can imagine something for myself instead of watching it on screen. My Michelle, you're quite a dreamy girl. I wouldn't say that. I just like to be quiet with my own thoughts. Michelle? I keep saying Michelle, and I'm afraid my phone's going to try to call my friend. What kind of movies do you like, Sam? What made you want to run a video store? As long as I can remember, I've been watching movies. I like every kind of film. Comedy, action, romance, drama. I can watch anything. What I like about film is watching the actors and actresses bring the story to life. Along with the film set, the cinematography, the sound direction. Sometimes it all comes together to create a picture so vivid and beautiful that it leaves a lasting impression on me. The films that I like are the ones I'll never forget. You just want to go back and watch them so you can think about them again. That's what makes home videos so wonderful to me. I see. My heart ached at hearing Sam's words. Why? Have you seen this movie? Sam pointed to her tiny television screen. It was a black and white Chinese silent film. It was made quite before my time. I didn't recognize any of the actors. No, what is it? Sam showed me the tape. The film is one of, Ruin Lingyu's strongest performances. And again, I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names. I hope I'm getting them right, but I'm probably not, and I do apologize. New Women. Ruin Lingyu? I don't think I've heard of her. She also went by the English name Lily Yuen? She was a silent film star in Shanghai during the 1930s. Ruin was of Cantonese origins, her Cantonese accent notwithstanding. Her success as an actress was before the advent of sound in Chinese cinema. You could see her films that she was talented in portraying a variety of characters with a high level of emotional depth. I won't tell you too much about her until after you finish the film. But I have to say this film carries a lot more weight once you know what happened. I see. That's interesting. How did you come across her films? I'm sure even my mother wouldn't know about them. I had heard a little about her films before from people old enough to be alive during her time. Excuse me, I keep burping. It was only recently that her films were taken out of the archives, so I had my chance to finally watch them myself. Oh, you can watch it here. It's not that long. Here, have a seat. I'll rewind it to the beginning. It's alright. I'll get a copy. Okay. I'll give you 20% off. 20% only? Can I buy one, get one? I'd love to, but I have to be fair to every customer. I'll discount you more if you're a returning customer. I also do rentals. Oh, is that really fair then? Alright, here. Thank you. What is this movie about? Well, it's about an educated woman played by Ruin and what she has to do to survive in society of the time. It's quite a brief film considering its time of release. The last scene always gives me chills. It's hard to describe the film. You have to watch it and see. Tell me what you think after you finished it. Okay. I hope you like it. I've been taking up a lot of your time. I shouldn't be keeping you from your work any longer. I should get going. Are you busy tonight? I don't have any particular plans. Would you like to come with me to a show? A show? It's at this pub near the station here. I know the owner quite well and she puts on a special event every month. A pub. What about your shop? It's okay, I'll just lock it up. It's about time I close up anyway. Really? There's a sign on your door outside says you still have half an hour till closing. Closing time is subject to management. It's her shop, she can close whenever the fuck she wants. What kind of management is that? Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go. Sam ushered me out of her shop and quickly shuttered the gates. I could try watching the movie she recommended, but I didn't really like the idea of going along with her to the pub. I was about to protest had not the venue been in the direction of the subway station. I figured I'd go along with her for a bit and then excuse myself later. We had a nice conversation. Sam seemed cheerful. I didn't want to dampen her mood. Sam walked next to me, humming an upbeat song. She had on a ritzy outfit today. I didn't notice it at first when she was sitting behind her shop counter. It's quite outstanding. Sam wore a hibiscus red blouse, a fitted skirt, and paired these items with pointed toe heels. What a strange shopkeeper. Never seen anyone tend to a store dressed like that. I was dressed in my usual office attire, formal, neat, and clean. I don't have the look of someone going to bars after work. As we walked, the streets got more and more crowded the closer we approached the station. The sidewalk was shoulder to shoulder with pedestrians going home, going out, going somewhere. I took off my jacket. It was warm. I felt awkward around Sam. From afar, I'm sure no one would think we had anything to do with each other. The subway entrance should be just around the corner ahead. It was about time I took my leave. I shouldn't involve myself with Sam anymore tonight. Not like this, I thought. Sam? We're here. The venue is just down those stairs. Sam gestured to a narrow stairwell leading down into the basement of a pre-war apartment building. Excuse me, my voice. The entrance was open. It was an otherwise inconspicuous place. I looked for the name of the establishment. All the place had for signage was a bolted plate beside the entrance door, which indicated in small font that it was in fact a bar and disco. Like a discotheque? I felt uneasy. I better not today. Michelle, I have to get going. Oh. I have some things I have to take care of. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry. No worries, there's always the next time. Sam smiled lightly. Did she feel disappointed? Sam, I'll walk with you to the station. That's all right. I hope you have a good night. I'm going to head out now. Oh, God! A woman in an ostentatious green power suit suddenly appeared between us. She put her arm around Sam's waist. She seemed well acquainted with Sam. Samantha, what are you doing just standing out here? Hurry up and get in. What are you doing out here, Cecilia? Huh? You don't see me working. I have my own planner, promoter, security. Might as well be my own performer too if I don't do everything around here. You're busy as always, aren't you? Always. I saw you loitering outside. How rude blocking my entrance like that. Just get inside already and make my place look lively. Sorry. Who's this? You brought someone this time? Don't tell me this is Cecilia. This is Michelle. Michelle, Cecilia. Ah. Well, aren't you something? I'm sorry, I'm actually leaving. Hey. Miss Wong didn't tell you it's ladies' night. There's no cover charge. That's not it. I have to catch this train. Huh? Where'd you find this girl? She's so cold. Come in and sit for a bit, okay? Relax. You're much too stressed from work. Drink something warm yourself, yeah? Cecilia proceeded to put her arms around my shoulder and walk me into the bar. Sam shrugged and followed in. Cecilia then excused herself and began chatting up other patrons of the bar. She seemed like a busybody. The bar was named Ruby. I figured from the pink neon sign that it was lit on the wall. It was a weathered-looking bar that appeared as if it had gone through several aesthetic transformations through the years. Furniture was mismatched, and the paint job was uneven and chipped in some corners. If I had to describe what its decor was like to a magazine publicist, I would say that it was a valiant attempt at combining cosmopolitan posh and tropical boathouse. Neon lights colored the thick plumes of cigarette smoke in the air. Oh yeah, because you could smoke indoors. I don't know what it's like in China and all that now. Loungy funk music played from a sound system that is reminiscent of one of those my elementary school had in the gymnasium. The bass was terribly loud and made an awful buzzing and crackling sound. Regardless of what I thought, the bar's visual and sound aesthetics, people seemed to have a good time. They weren't shaking their heads to the music, they were mingling around the tables with drinks in hand. I surveyed the room. I thought Sam's bare legs were too risque, but compared to everyone else here, she was considered modestly dressed. People wore flashy outfits that were outrageously over the top. It's the 80s. There were women who dressed like men and others who dressed like circus performers. Uh-oh. It's like a British fashion show. I wasn't the only person dressed in office attire, but I certainly felt out of place here. Sam suggested we sit down at the bar. I sat down on the seat at the end of the counter. Oh, my nose. Sam took the seat next to me, first exchanging greetings with the bartender before sitting down on the high stool. Every time Sam crossed her legs, I noticed her skirt would inch dangerously higher. Oh. This was not good. Did Sam not notice this? My mother would have chastised me over such unladylike dress and behavior. I suppose Sam wasn't someone I can consider exactly feminine. She looked plenty feminine to me, but a lady wouldn't go to a pub on her own, and a lady certainly wouldn't be on a first-name basis with the bartender. Sam ordered a drink. It was her usual, apparently, a tequila sunrise. Sam asked if I wanted to have the same drink with her, but I refused. I asked for a glass of water instead. I didn't want to drink tonight. It was a weeknight, and I had my own sense of pride. Okay, uppity. I wanted to do things on my own terms. Fair. Not just to please someone else. Very fair. The bartender made a strange look to Sam. Sam carried on with her smiles. I couldn't read Sam's thoughts, but I tried not to think about it. Sam tapped her fingers to the beat of the music. She noted to me the names of the songs that played. I nodded along. It was something outside my knowledge. I noticed that Sam wasn't someone in need of company. Several people came over and gave their regards to Sam. Sam appeared to be popular here. One woman took a seat next to Sam. She wore a normal broad-shouldered office suit. However, the fitting was several sizes too large for her small frame. She kept her hair short, much like a boy's cut, and wore sunglasses indoors. Oh shit, it's me. It was a strange pub. It had a disproportionate number of women versus men. I guess that's what Cecilia meant by ladies' night. The strange woman continued talking to Sam. The conversation wasn't something I could easily join. Their way of talking was obtuse. There are a lot of expressions and colloquial speech I did not understand. I turned away and looked at the empty stage. I wonder what kind of musical performance would it be tonight. I doubted it would suit my taste. Why did Sam invite me here? I felt a hand on my leg. It was Sam's. She placed her hand lightly on my knee. Sam looked at me with a concerned face. The suit-wearing woman excused herself and left to join another table. Are you all right, Michelle? I'm fine. I haven't been here for a while, so some old friends came by to say hello. I didn't mean to ignore you. That's fine. You can talk to whoever you want. Michelle? I'm sorry about earlier. Cecilia can be forceful sometimes. No, I get it. She reminds me of my boss. Really? You know, Cecilia used to be my boss at one point. I could never catch a break. Ambitious women are like that. What's that? What business did you have with her? Huh? It's not anything like that. She's like a big sister to me. Big sister? Yes, someone who takes care and invites you out for a meal together, that's all. I meant about your work. Oh. Yes, some years ago a relative of hers owned a record store, so I helped them manage it at the time. Cecilia acted as if she owned the place, though, and treated herself as my boss. Let me tell you, she was fierce. She'd be upset with me if I couldn't name the songs off the Billboard charts, and she would give me hell if the books were off by even 1 cent. Oh, you mentioned that before. So that was who you were talking about. Yeah, that's right. Looking back, it was a fun stint. I learned a lot then. When the owner decided to close down the record store, Cecilia swooped in and asked me if I wanted to lease the newly freed space from her. I didn't know anything about owning a store then. I had a really tough start. But I was able to turn things around with all the people helping me. I wouldn't be where I am without them. I see. I'm glad it worked out for you. It's nice to have people looking out for you. Yes. Do you like running your own store? Well, there's ups and downs, but I like the feeling of being my own boss. I can set my own hours. I can pick out what I want to sell. I can really make it my own, which I like. I'm still learning what it means to be a successful business owner. There's a lot of trial and errors sometimes. But I think I'm doing pretty well for myself now. I see. That's good for you. What about you? What led you into being in a publishing company? Nothing in particular, really. I was recommended the position when I was at university by a professor. I got the job and I've been here ever since. I've only been working for about a year, though. Ah, is that so? Do you enjoy your work? Work is work. I can't say I enjoy it, but it is what it is. I see. There was an awkward lull in our conversation. I didn't know what to talk about. It was a loud and busy place. I didn't want to raise my voice or bring up personal things here. Sam didn't seem too bothered. She seemed to enjoy this kind of atmosphere. She looked around and sipped on her drink slowly. When a fast-paced song came along, her fingers would automatically start tapping along with the beat. I noticed that she touched her hair a lot. Whenever she brushed her hair back, her gold-colored earrings would catch light from the stage. Sim's appearance caught eyes. Even though we sat in the corner of the bar, anyone who walked by would turn and take a second glance at her. Sam had a different look to her today. It was an adult and mature look, a complete contrast to what I remember her wearing the other day. Yesterday, Sam had a laid-back, casual atmosphere to her. Tonight, Sam gave me a feeling of unpredictability. I never met a person like Sam before. Sam leaned closer to me. She was about to say something. I turned away to avoid her eye contact. I didn't want Sam to read my expression. It wasn't that I felt intimidated by Sam. Rather, I couldn't guess her motive. I felt at a loss. I didn't want Sam to know that. Sam continued the conversation. I know you mentioned before that we had different musical tastes. So far, how do you like the music here? I can't say. This kind of music is new to me. I can't really say I like it. I see. I appreciate you coming with me tonight. You know, this place really plays a bit of everything. They'll play the most popular songs off the UK and American charts, and they'll also play Cantonese and Japanese hits as well. Every 4th Thursday of the month, they have a special disco night where they bring back the older dance charts. Disco. Jesus. Sam was about to answer. Cecilia came in and gave a hard smack to my back before taking a seat next to her. Jesus, woman! Cecilia was friendly towards Sam, but I felt an air of hostility from her. I should be careful around her. How are you ladies doing tonight? Hey, Cecilia, you finally pulled away from all your guests? For now. I still have much to do as tonight's host. Is that so? Hey, Samantha, what are you doing with your little guest in the corner? Is that a glass of water? Oh, what about it? I told you to loosen up a bit. Cecilia! Cecilia snapped her fingers and ordered something from the bartender. Here, a fun drink for you. A tequila sunrise on the house. And if you're not a cocktail girl, a glass of my finest champagne. I had it uncorked just for you. Calm down. Cecilia, stop. That's enough. Huh? Why not? She doesn't want it. Don't force her. I'm trying to show her a good time. Don't you see her moping in the corner with a glass of water? Come on, cheer her up. I'm not moping. Okay, why don't you have a drink with me? Don't be rude to your host. Which one will you pick? I don't know. I don't want either. If she doesn't want it, she doesn't want it. Excuse me. I figured you'd say that. Why should I drink with her? I didn't need to drink to enjoy myself. I crossed my arms. I shouldn't have to give in to Cecilia. What I did wasn't any of her business. You know, sometimes you cannot judge something without trying it first. Michelle, don't worry about it. Cecilia, why don't we split these 2 drinks? I'll drink this one for you, Michelle. Sam, you're too soft. Be easy on her. It's still a weeknight. Cecilia, when are the musicians starting? Why don't we all get on the dance floor? Ah, that's right. I have to get them ready. When I come back, I better find you girls on the dance floor. Later, loves. Hey, don't take whatever Cecilia said to heart. That's just her big sister way of showing her care. I didn't take it to heart. Oh, that's good. She's a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want you to dislike her. I see. If you're tired, we can call it a night. It's all right. Sam, thanks for what you did earlier. Huh? Oh, don't worry about it. I just hope you're not feeling down because of me. I wanted to say to Sam that it wasn't her fault. Before I could finish my thoughts, Cecilia was there again to interrupt me. The club music had stopped playing and she appeared on the stage under a bright spotlight. Ahem, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is everyone having a fabulous night? The crowd roared in a cheer. Is that a cheer? You can be louder than that. Don't fall asleep now. We got special guests tonight to get your body moving. If you're sitting at the tables, get your dancing shoes on and get up on the dance floor. Let's welcome Sisters. A group of musicians and dancers got up on the stage. People quickly crowded the platform. The bar that seemed half empty before quickly filled up. Those who were previously sitting at the tables were all on the dance floor now. The drummer counted in, and the sound of heavy synthesizers and bass followed. The room was filled with the sound of upbeat music. I looked at my watch. It was just after 11. If I left now, I could be home before midnight. I wasn't a dancer. I didn't like to drink. Now was a good time to excuse myself. Sam could enjoy the rest of the night the way she wanted. I never intended to stay with her as long as I did. I got up from the bar stool. Sam, before you go, may I have this dance with you? Huh? Sam held out her hand. Sam said something, but I couldn't quite hear her words. The music was deafening. We could hardly talk without yelling. May I? What? Let's dance. I don't know how to dance. I can show you. I should go. I don't really know this song. Is that so? I love this song. I said I'm going. You'll go? All right, let's hit the dance floor. Oh, she can't hear. Are you hearing me properly? Sam's cheeks were flushed from the drinks, though there was a sense of clarity in her eyes. There was some frantic energy in her appearance. Sam held onto my wrists. Her hands were sweaty. Sam? She pulled me into the mob. What? The lights were strobing. People danced in every direction. Hands were in the air. Someone was laughing. Someone was screaming. I was being pushed by moving bodies from every direction. It was hot and tight in the disco. The plumes of smoke had gotten even thicker. I felt suffocated. It was as if for these people tonight was all that mattered. There were no thoughts about the handover, nor the growing economic uncertainty in the city. Here liquor flowed endlessly, money came easy, and Hong Kong will always be the same. Sam danced to the rhythm of the music. Oh. I should probably put a warning up. Oh, if that's the skirt, then it might show a little bit more than expected. Sam moved left, right, and all around. Her body moved freely without regard to the movements of others around her. She stood out from everyone in the crowd. I couldn't do anything except follow her with my eyes. It was vivacious. The music continued one song after another. She continued dancing to the music. As I stood watching her, I realized that Sam was in a world I did not know and did not associate with. And a pervasive thought repeated in my mind that I didn't belong here. Michelle, are you all right? Sam stopped dancing. She held my wrist with her hand. I was the one who brought you here. You must be tired. I'm sorry if it wasn't something you enjoyed. Would you like to go now? It's not that. It's... You know, A place like this is where I feel most myself. It's like this, messy, chaotic, confusing, but I feel free in this kind of space. Okay. It's a place where people come to have fun and to not think of their troubles for the day. People don't really judge you here. You can put aside money and status and dance the night away. You don't have to feel ashamed or hide who you are in this place. You can put on whatever outfit and feel confident with yourself. It's that kind of special place to me. Sam had a smile on her face, though she seemed to say these things from a distant place. There was a long pause between us. For some reason, I couldn't put together the words to answer her right away. I wanted to say something. I didn't want her to misunderstand me. Oh, God. I see. Could you tell me more about it? I never went to the disco before. It's a new thing for me. But I want to learn more about it from you. Maybe not right now. You're busy too, Michelle. Sam? You're a little pale. Have you eaten yet? Oh, that's right. I haven't eaten since lunch. Would you like to get something as a snack to eat nearby before you go home? I'll walk you out. Okay. We left the bar. Sam walked me to the station. It was past midnight. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make the last train home. I think you look nice in your shoes. I'm glad you were able to get them fixed. Thank you. I like the shoes you have on too. It looks good with your outfit. Thanks. I observed the night scenery around me. There's something about being out on the lively streets at night that made you feel awake and alert. The electric energy from the bright city lights radiated onto people that it shined on. The neighborhood I lived in was much quieter by this time. Certainly could not compare to the liveliness. It was a warm summer night, but the night air felt much more refreshing compared to earlier. The night wind felt cool. It was far easier to breathe without all the heavy cigarette fumes found inside the disco. I felt more relaxed. I glanced at Sam. She walked with a slow step. She was quiet. I guess she was feeling a little down. I didn't mean to spoil her evening, but I shouldn't have to keep myself out for her sake, I thought. Very true. I was still at work day tomorrow. I couldn't stay out all night. I had told Sam that she didn't need to accompany me to the station if she wanted to stay in the disco longer. But she insisted on seeing me out. The station wasn't far. It only took a few minutes to walk to one of the subway entrances. Just across from the entrance, there were several hawker stands still serving hot meals well into the night. Sam pointed one out to me. Ah, the curry fish balls at that stand are the best. Really? The line for it speaks for itself. Can't believe it at this hour. Would you like to try it before we head into the station? I don't know. It's late now. I understand if you have to go. I've already kept you long enough. Sam, today was strange. I thought she had a persistent and pushy personality. But ever since we left the disco, wow, she acted demure. Had I acted that coldly towards her to have dampened her mood this much? I didn't intend to be dismissive of her. If they're really that good, I'll try it. Really? I assure you, let's get in line. Don't worry, the line moves really fast. She smiled again. All right. I don't know why, but I felt shy seeing her smile. We were getting curry fish balls of all things. The popular fish ball stand looked like any other. A stainless steel cart carried all the ingredients and supplies the owners need to cook and conduct their business. They worked seamlessly in tandem, collecting payment and preparing one order after the next. It didn't take long for us to be next in line. Flavorful smells wafted into our nostrils. We're next. Which one would you like to get? Which one is good, spicy or non-spicy? The spicy is quite spicy. You can always get half and half if you want to try both. Okay, I'll get that. Okay. Excuse me. 2 half and half orders. Could be because I haven't eaten a full meal since lunch, but there was something about tonight that made curry fish balls taste like something out of this world. They were something so ordinary, yet they tasted so extraordinary. It was delectably savory. The spicy ones had a good kick to them, too. We ate up a whole plate of them quickly on the side of the road. I wanted to get another set to eat. How did you like them? They're quite good, actually. Do you want another set? Sure, I'll get it. I turned around swiftly. Oh, God. Before I could react, a passerby quite forcibly bumped into my shoulder. Oh, no. I knocked a paper plate containing leftover curry sauce out of my hands onto my chest. The sauce spilled all over onto my blouse, staining it with a disastrous yellow-brown. Oh no, the curry sauce is all over you. Let me get your shirt off. It's my favorite blouse too. I have to wash it off immediately or the blouse will be permanently stained. I think I'll have to take the taxi home. I'm sad. Looking like baby puke. You should get yourself cleaned up a bit first. Baby puke, more like baby poop. This is your fault. You're the one who invited me out and caused all this. Whoa, calm down. I shouldn't have tagged along with you in the first place. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Look, there's a 24-hour laundromat nearby. My apartment is just above. You can wait there while it's being washed. What should I do? I weighed my options carefully. The yellow-brown liquid was seeping further and further into my blouse. The sauce was still warm on my chest and the smell was oh so strong. If my silk brassiere were to have a permanent brown stain, I would cry. I wanted to blame Sam for this curry disaster. I know it wasn't actually her fault, but she should take some partial responsibility for this. It's the least she could do. Calm down. Hey, Michelle. I left for you a set of towels and some shirts you could change into out there. I'll bring you your shirt to the cleaners and I'll come right back up. Just hang tight. Okay. Don't mind the messiness. I'll tidy up when I come back. Thank you. I don't really mind. Okay, make yourself at home. I had Sam take my stained blouse and undershirt to the cleaners. While she was gone, I changed one to Sam's shirts. It was an odd turn in events. I was quite embarrassed. But at least I don't have to go around in public smelling like a fishbowl stand any longer. Another inconvenient thing. What's going on with my luck these days? And right now I'm stuck in Sam's house until my clothes are finished washing. I was so upset earlier. I know it wasn't Sam's fault. I have no one to blame except for myself. I took a look at myself in the mirror. Sam gave me a white button-up shirt for her to wear for the time being. I saw her other clothes hanging in her open closet. Sam had quite an eclectic fashion sense. I should be thankful she picked out a plain white blouse for me to wear. It appeared to be the most normal-looking item she owned. The sizing was similar to my own blouse, but the fitting was loose. The shoulders were baggy on my shoulders. The material was thin. I felt a draft. Things just keep happening when I'm around her, huh? I've definitely missed the last train now. Between taking a taxi home covered in curry sauce or going to Sam's apartment to wash up, I chose the latter option. I wanted at least to limit the embarrassment to as few people as possible. I didn't want to leave washing my soiled clothes for another day. Getting rid of that stain was a time-sensitive issue. I figured my mother wouldn't appreciate it if I turned on the washing machine in the late night. Luckily, there just happened to be a 24-hour laundromat nearby. And Sam's apartment was just above. Yes, we know this. Her place was less than 200 meters from the station. Not a bad location, I have to say. She lived in a small studio apartment. Her small twin-sized bed had a few steps away from a kitchen that had only a portable gas stove and a microwave. There was a small refrigerator, of course. But there was nothing otherwise in the kitchen that would have indicated it was a place for gourmet cooking. They say that the kitchen is the heart of the home. In Sam's case, it was quite the opposite. While her kitchen might have been nondescript, the many personal belongings that filled her den was where she showed her taste. It was not dissimilar to her video store, quite cluttered. I saw fashion magazines, books, tapes, and records stacked around in a disorderly fashion. On the contrary, she arranged her collection of photo books neatly. The old Leica camera stood out on her shelf. It appeared to be broken, however. Her television sat on top of a VCR player. I also saw it was connected to a Laserdisc player, I guess for watching all her movies. There was so much personality in this small apartment. She made use of her balcony space as well and left some laundry hanging. I know she kept her houseplants by the window. They were ordinary plug plants, though they appeared to be wilting. They seemed to say, "Please water me, I'm on the verge of death." I should heed their cries for mercy and water them. I'll borrow a cup. I found a cup in her kitchen cupboard. At least her dishes were done and put away. I wondered if Sam lived alone. Who else would be there? From what I saw, it didn't appear to be anyone else living with her. She didn't have a sofa, nor did she have any other notable pieces of furniture besides a bed and a low table. Was this a comfortable way to live? It could be weird to me to sit down on her bed and kneel on the floor. I stood by the balcony door and curiously looked outside. It seemed like people were going about their daily business out on the street below. It must get noisy sometimes at night here. felt so strange to be here like this, standing around in someone else's clothes in someone else's apartment. I hope Sam didn't mind too much about today. Michelle? I'm back. Oh, you were watering the plants? Thank you. I keep forgetting to water them. They look so pitiful. Please consider them sometimes. Yeah, but they're still alive somehow. If you don't take care of them properly, sooner or later they'll wither away and die. Okay. The bless will be done in an hour. We can pick them up from the laundromat when they're done. Thank you so much. I've been bothering you all night, and it's gotten late now. It's no bother at all. It was all my fault that things didn't go well today. No, it wasn't. I had a good time, really. Don't blame yourself. I see. I'm glad. Would you like to watch something on TV while waiting? I don't want to intrude too much. Don't worry. How about I put on a record? Just take a seat and relax. Let me grab you something to drink. Oh, it's fine. I'm not thirsty. Coke? I have Coke. It's the 80s. What kind of Coke are we talking? Tepid water is good then. Just water? You don't need to be so reserved. Why don't I make some warm tea? Would that be all right with you? Sure, tea would be fine. Okay, I'll be right back. Sam put on a record and went over to the kitchen to make some tea. She had me sit on her bed while I waited. I saw from the cover jacket that it was a Deanie Ip record. She was a popular singer and actress, but I never listened to this particular album before. I was surprised when I saw Sam take out a vinyl record. I would have thought that someone like Sam would have gotten a compact disc player by now. I listened to the music. That's back when compact discs were fancy. I listened to the music. It was a soft funk song. I think it was a Cantonese cover of an English song. Sighing softly, break my heart. I watched Sam boil water using a portable gas stove. I giggled a bit. I suppose Sam is a bit more old school than I first thought. Sighing softly without saying a word. Sam, with her back towards me, made me feel a little lonesome. The water didn't take too long to boil. A little blue flame danced quietly to the music. Before the song had finished, Sam came back with a set of teacups. She had made oolong tea. I took a sip. It was warming. It didn't taste too bitter. I hope you don't mind the place. I know it's a little cramped. I haven't gotten around to sorting out some things. No, it's fine as it is. Your place is close to the station. It's convenient, isn't it? It is. The song you played earlier. Could you play it again? I kind of like it. Of course. It's my favorite song. Really? I guess I'm showing my age. What do you mean? The disco is good fun, but the part of me is stuck in the days of folk and funk. You know, years ago, Ruby used to be an old funk bar. It was never this flashy until Cecilia took over. I see. You two have known each other long. I suppose so. About earlier, I'm sorry. What for? I didn't mean to yell at you, or take away your evening with your friend. You didn't. I shouldn't have acted that way. I guess I was being selfish. Selfish in what way? I don't know. Maybe you should be a little more selfish around me. Sam shifted herself closer to me on the bed. My legs suddenly cramped. I stood up quickly. I have a leg cramp. Sam laughed. I felt flushed. I've been sitting around all day. I needed to walk around a bit. My eyes turned towards the photos of Sam that had displayed on her wall. Sam had quite an amount of photos on display. I looked through them slowly. What are you looking at? Your photos. I'm not allowed to look? Oh no, please, they're so embarrassing. I know Sam had a framed picture of herself from when she was in high school. She went to a notable Catholic girls' school in Hong Kong? I was surprised. I had university classmates who went to the same school. They were prim and proper dainty girls, not at all similar to Sam. The Sam in this photo looked like a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed student. Her smile was not much different to the way it is now. There was a playfulness in her expression. It was cute. I like seeing a before and after puppy photo. I was like, huh? I saw you smirk. What is it? Your smile never changed. You look so keen in this photo. What do you mean by that? I'll let you know I was at the top of my class in math. At one point, I had a sign-up list for classmates who wanted to be tutored by me. Really? That's really impressive. A sign-up list. I can't believe it. It's true. I was good at teaching people how to ace the tests. All right, I believe you. Do you really? I do. I'm sure your underclassmen really looked up to you. What's that? Are you being sarcastic? I'm not. Here, I'll show you a funny photo. Sam pointed to an odd photo. Who's that in this photo? It's a photo of a teenage Sam flanked by two muscular men. They were at a picturesque beach. One man I recognized as her father. He was wearing an undershirt and posed for the camera with his arms flexed. The other man in the photo was much younger than her father. He was bare-chested and proudly displayed his muscles. Young Sam was dressed in casual wear. She wore a short-sleeved shirt and shorts. She stood plainly in the center of the photo. She looked displeased. It was an unusual picture. Oh, that guy? That's my older brother. Really? He and my dad liked to bodybuild at one point. Oh. This was taken when I went with my dad to visit my brother in California for his wedding. Your brother was married at the time? Yep. I see. He looks so young in this photo. He's 5 years my senior. He had gone to California to study when he was 19, and not long after, he called and told us he was getting married. From his last Christmas card, I think he and his wife are on to their 4th child now. That's impressive. Do you have siblings? No, I'm an only child. I see. Did you get lonely without your brother around? Not really. He teased me a lot when I was a child. He was 5 years older, too. He called me names like Bucktooth Billy. There was one time he set fireworks off in the house and blamed it on me. What a shithead! Clearly, I was my parents' favorite child. We bickered a lot as children. I guess we didn't bond too much, in part because of our age difference. I think that's nice, though. I didn't have anyone like that growing up. It was just my mother and father. I'm not sure about a brother, but I always thought having an older sister would be nice. Is that so? You'd make a lovely younger sister, I'm sure. Sam showed me more of her photos. There were a number of photos of herself as a child. She seemed like a happy child who liked to sing and dance. A wide, toothy smile could be seen in all her baby photos. Sam must have been quite an endearing child to her parents and a sweet sister to her brother. When I see her smile like that, I could feel that Sam came from a loving family. When I think about my own childhood photos, I wasn't as cute or photogenic as Sam. Usually the camera flash would catch me with wide open eyes and a stiff expression, much like an animal in the headlights. My father liked to take a lot of photos when I was a child. After he passed away, there weren't many photos taken of me with my mother. My father's camera was kept in a storage box somewhere. Thinking about it made me feel a little sad. It was heartwarming to see Sam treasure her family photos. I noticed one particular photo. It was larger than all the other photos she had. It was framed and hung on the wall. Oh, pretty. It's an old picture. You have to show me your pictures next time for it to be even, all right? Oh no, they're embarrassing. Hey, that's not fair. I want to see you as a baby too. I continued chatting with Sam about our childhood while we waited. Time seemed languid. I didn't feel tired at all. Earlier when I was with Sam at the disco, it was so loud and busy I couldn't really talk in depth with Sam. When we talked at her place, there was something about Sam that reminded me of an old school friend. The way we could talk frankly without having to show face was refreshing. With coworkers or even relatives, meeting someone always involved showing proper respect and courtesy. It also involved a bit of showboating of one's education and wealth as well. It was strange, this time I shared with Sam. I had misjudged her earlier. I shouldn't let my prejudices influence my judgment of another's character. We seek meaning in our lives one way or another. It's just life, for anyone and everyone in the city. When I was with Sam like this, I felt at ease. It was as if I was visiting a cousin's home despite this being our second meeting. Though sometimes when I turned away, I caught her glance. There was an odd feeling. I didn't know how to explain it. I'm loving this soundtrack. This awkward tension between us. I noticed sometimes her hand would brush lightly against mine when we were next to each other. Ooh. She leaned in close to talk. I noticed her eyes looked for my reaction whenever she made a funny quip or a compliment. I felt as if I stayed here longer, something more. Oh, huh? I've completely forgotten about the time. Could I borrow your phone? Yes, of course. It's next to the television. I'll stop the record, 1 second. Thank you. I had forgotten to let my mother know that I would be late coming home. It's already like, I wanted for her to at least not be waiting up for me. I had made her worry the other night. Look at that answering machine. And a rotary phone. I dialed my own number with Sam's rotary phone. I should know my phone number by heart, but my fingers felt clumsy. I kept misdialing. I eventually dialed the correct number. The line collected right away. Hello, Mother? I'm phoning to let you know. Yes, I'm on my way home. No, it won't be long. Please don't worry about me and rest. I know, it's very late. I just want to let you know that I'm all right. Huh? No, nothing of that sort. Something came up. Where am I? I'm just at work. It's been a busy day. I had something to eat, so please, you don't have to wait for me. I'll be home as soon as I can. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'll take a taxi home. Bye. I ended the call in a hurry. There was a suspicious tone in my mother's voice. When she has her doubts, she would persist to question me. I had to cut the conversation short. You're 23. Granted, I'm not too familiar with like Chinese culture, so maybe, that's not really common. I don't know. I couldn't, or maybe it is common to live with your parents, which is probably a female. Back in the day, you were probably there until you were married. Peach, can I help you? Please sit down. I couldn't tell her that I went to a pub with Sam. That would set off 1,000 more questions. My mother associated pubs with degenerate behavior. Calm down, Mom. Okay. My parents went on pub crawls. Even if I didn't do anything bad, she would assume that I did. Judgy. I was not that kind of person. Why does she have to make me feel guilty about every little thing? Move out, Beverly. You finished your call? Yes. Why did you lie to your mother about being at work? There's nothing you need to hide. Why were you listening in? I just overheard. It's easier to explain to my mother that I'm at work instead of whatever happened earlier. The disco? You could tell her you were with a friend eating late night snacks and having a chat. She won't believe that. My mother is the traditional type. Anything past 10 p.m. is considered late for her. If she knew I went to a disco, she'd jump at the conclusion that I was out doing something else. Really? Is it so wrong to be out late? It's not wrong. It's just, for my mother, she thinks I'm not appropriate to be out late as a woman. She associates any nightlife with bad behavior. I wouldn't want her to misunderstand. I see. Your mother must be worried about you. I can send you back now if you want. You can pick up the shirt for me another day. I can take care of it. I shouldn't be long now, right? I've already been a bother to you. You could have had a good time in the disco instead if it wasn't for me. No, you don't need to keep saying that. I had a good time with you. I have to be honest with you. I might just be one of the bad girls your mother warned you about. Huh? No. It was a new experience for me. And I didn't mean to say that you're bad. I never meant it that way. You're different. You're independent. You're cool. You can do anything you want. You're not like that. Really. You think too highly of me. I think you're a charming person, Michelle. Much more than you know yourself. Huh? Michelle, I enjoyed being with you. Can I see you again? Sam, you can. Really? I'm glad to hear that. I want to get to know you more, Michelle. I like what you have to say. I want to hear more of your thoughts and what you feel. The way you express yourself is pretty. Oh, Michelle, you are a pretty girl, you know. Huh? The way you are? Like this? Sam stepped forward towards me. I could feel the temperature rising in the room. Oh, shit! Was it her body heat or my own? I wasn't sure. I closed my eyes and turned away. I couldn't bear to look at Sam in the eye. Her stare was hypnotizing. It made me feel weak, as if I was going to buckle over. Buckle something. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, shit! Snap! Sam was standing over me. Michelle, look at me. Sam. Oh, snap! Oh, I did not need that bit. Sorry, everyone. She leaned forward and pressed her lips on mine. In the warm light of an incandescent lamp, we shared a gentle, quiet kiss. I stood in a daze. My sensibilities were shocked. I never experienced something quite like this. I don't know how to respond to her touch. Put my mental attention to anything that wasn't Sam's bodily contact. I heard muffled voices from above and upstairs. The neighbors seemed to be talking on their balcony. I smelled something savory. Delicious smells wafted in from the open window. Someone next door was about to have a midnight snack. Somewhere in the distance, a dog was barking. It was so lively at this hour, I thought. Even then, it was still enough that I could hear the drip drop of water from Sam's kitchen faucet. The sound of my own beating heart was loud in my ears. She smelled of sweet, fragrance. Jesus. The balcony window that I leaned against felt cold. Her body was leaned against mine, was warm. Sam's lips were soft. I gasped for air. I had forgotten to breathe for an entire minute. I opened my eyes to the same studio apartment. I didn't fall asleep and dream. Sam was standing before me. She brushed back the hair covering my face and looked into my eyes. Her touch was gentle and warm. I heard her whisper my name softly. There was a slow hesitation between us. I was at a loss for words. What was I supposed to feel? Everything was so sudden. Sam looked dreamy, almost wistful. She closed her eyes again. Sam put her hand around my waist. She leaned in again, her body pushed against mine, and she pressed her lips against mine with more weight than last. I felt the pressure from her knee between my thighs. Holy shit! This was getting dangerous. I broke away from her kiss. Michelle, Sam, I have to go. Gay panic! Michelle! I felt flush from head to toe. My face was hot. I could not say anything more to Sam, much less look her in the eye. I froze up. My flight or fight reflexes took over. I had to get away. I pushed Sam to size and quickly gathered my belongings. I left her apartment in a hurry. There was no time to wait for the elevator. I walked down the fire exit, and as soon as I was in the street level, I hailed a cab to take me home. It didn't take long for me to flag a taxi down. I didn't realize until I was in the car that I was still wearing Sam's blouse and that my own was probably drying in the laundromat. I just wanted to get home and get some rest. I would have to find a way to deal with this another time. At that moment, I couldn't even think clearly. I never experienced such a thing before, much less with another woman. I couldn't believe it. The taxi made the turn onto Argyle and out of the Mongkok district. The lights, the sounds, the people, it was too much for me. I put my hand on my lips. Sam, why did you have to kiss me like that? After such a long day, I ride back home. I couldn't believe what I had been through today. I caught my own reflection in the mirror by the doorway entrance. I looked disheveled. My hair was frizzy, the foundation of my face had rubbed out, and the dark circles that formed under my eyes were so horribly apparent. I was so tired. I needed to get out of Sam's shirt right away and wash up for bed. I tiptoed my way down the hall corridor. My mother would be upset if she knew I got back at this hour. I called my mother earlier so she would rest assured that I was all right and on the way home. The lights were off when I arrived home. She must have gone to bed already. There was no way she would stay up this late for me. I sighed. I had only a few hours to rest before I had to be up again for work. This was all her fault. I was about to step into my room successfully and noticed when I heard the sound of my mother's bedroom door. My mother stepped out. Oh, shit. She didn't greet me at first, though her expression had said enough. Why are you home so late? I'm 23! I told you I was going to be late. Things kept happening at work. So much for you to come back in the early morning? Why is your shirt like that? Uh-huh. Like what? It's so wrinkled. It's been a long day, that's all. I'm sorry. You didn't have to wait for me to come back. I told you I would be late. I put your meal in the fridge. You can save it for your lunch tomorrow. Thank you. I'm going back to sleep. Okay. Good night. Oh, what is it? I called your workplace and they said you left early today. For Christ's sake, Ma! You should hurry up to bed. You have work tomorrow. You can't go to work looking like this. Oh, okay. My mother returned to her bedroom as quietly as she came. It took a few moments for me to regain my composure. Her cold demeanor and curt statements caught me unguarded. My mother had the ability to send feelings of guilt and fear deep into my spine. I didn't really want to hear what she thought of me coming home late. I don't know why it was always like this with my mother. Her care and concern had always been so much where it could be controlling. I know she loves me very much and only worries for my well-being. My mother had done her best to take care of me alone after my father passed away. I know she has been lonely. I love my mother. Sometimes I just want her to let me be my own person. For real? Could I have told her that I was with another woman and Sam? What a weird person. I let myself get caught up in her games and such a thing happened. Calm down. I better get myself cleaned up and put this night behind me. I couldn't let a person I just met change the life that I've worked so hard to build up. What life? I had to get myself out of this weird shirt and put myself to bed. Kitty. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the kiss. I've never seen my mother and father kiss. In movies, it was always between a man and a woman. How could Sam just kiss me like that? I felt embarrassed and hot just thinking about it. Sam really did kiss me, right? She walked towards me, and she used her body to push me against the balcony window. Her body was warm. I remember the cool touch of the window on my back and that of Sam's jade necklace on my neck. The old-fashioned stone pendant of Sam's glided down my neck and my collarbone when she leaned in towards me. Sam put her lips on mine. She pressed her lips on mine tightly. The kiss felt like it lasted for an eternity. When she finally pulled away, I was left breathless. Sam was so brazen. She didn't hesitate to go all in for another kiss. The second time, she even parted my lips with her tongue. Oh. Ugh. I remember making that weird sound. I felt so embarrassed. I still couldn't believe it. I never imagined that I would kiss someone like that. Sam, what have you done? At the end of the night, I did not get a wink of sleep. My legs were sore. My eyes were swollen. How was I going to get myself to work like this? I lay on the bed, ruminating over thoughts of calling in sick. But I better not. If I missed work, I would trouble my coworkers and give myself a hard time at work the next day. And I'm sure if I stayed home, my mother would give me a long lecture on how irresponsible I was to skip work. I didn't want to have a one-on-one confrontation with my mother again if I didn't have to. I know she'll try to bring up what happened last night if I did. I'm trying to get to a stopping point here. I have to force myself to get up soon. I looked at my clock again. I had some time to spare. I chose to keep my eyes closed for a bit longer. I had time until the morning alarm sounded. Okay, I'm going to probably stop right here. Let me do this. Let's just save right there. Okay, so we will leave this episode off here because this has been running a little long. It's been like an hour and a half. I don't want it to be too long. Anywho, so we will leave this episode off here. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out werewolfapparel.com to see all their cool stuff and support a business in the alphabet mafia, if you will. So that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to chomp down on that like button if you did like it. Leave a comment down below with any other game suggestions or video ideas that you'd like to see from me. Share this channel with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already to see other videos that I've done. I will see you all in the next one.